Derya ile Lugano'ya gelme sebeplerimizden bir tanesi aslında sadece Derya'nın buraya sık sık gelmesi değil. Çünkü burası hakikaten İtalya'nın bittiği, İsviçre'nin başladığı, Alplerin en güney noktası ve bir doğa sporları merkezi. Hatta sadece Avrupa değil, dünya için bir doğa sporları merkezi ve burada aslında hayat şu anlamda çok yavaş. Yani burada bir metropol hayatı hissedemiyorsunuz. Buradaki insanların en büyük aktivitesi doğa sporları yapmak. Aslında bizim de en sevdiğimiz şey. Ve buranın tabii bir özelliği daha var. Burası Avrupa kıtasında ilk kez alıştığımız kredi kartı ve para birimi, yani insanlık tarihi boyunca bildiğimiz kağıt para, demir para ve kredi kartından sonra yepyeni bir çağa ilk adım atan Avrupa şehri diyebiliriz. Ve bunu gerçek kılan dünyaca ünlü, sadece Avrupa demiyorum, dünyaca ünlü kanaat önderlerinden bir tanesi de Paolo. Paolo, welcome on the episode.
Thank you for having me.
So, I was talking to you and you were telling me that how busy your daily life is, like 15-16 hours work days and not moving much. Was this your life? I mean, was your life always like this?
No, I mean, I come from a family that is a farmer family, kind of obsessed in making us do all the type of sport, or try at least all the type of sports that we could, right? So of course, then we grew up and I started coding more and more. Well, I started coding when I was 8.
Wow, and you did great things in the last 30 years, but especially in the last 10 years, you've been one of the deciding people in the crypto world. I know a little bit what Bitcoin is, but some people who view, they might have no idea, and some people have wrong idea. Because Bitcoin, to me, correct me if I'm wrong, like US dollar, like Turkish lira, like euro, it's a payment method.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
It is a payment method.
Yeah, but what is it exactly?
The reason to exist of Bitcoin was actually as a response of the 2007-2008 financial crisis. And unfortunately, back then, all the major banks had issues, right? Many banks failed in 2007-2008 and left many people without a job. And we are talking about hundreds of thousands of people, millions in the world.
Millions.
But also, people were completely bankrupt. Right, families lost money because they lost money in investment.
They lost their houses.
Yes, they lost their houses, and these investments were guaranteed by these bankers. Right,
Yeah.
so we are sick and tired of the non-transparency of the banking system. Let's create something that is governed by math, is transparent, and no one can cheat, and is becoming, as you said, the perfect connection is with the internet, because now Bitcoin is considered internet money. You wake up in the morning, and you knew that you had a bank account. But if you give the money to a bank, you have a credit with the bank. But the money not necessarily is there for you to withdraw it when you need it, right? And Bitcoin completely changed that. Bitcoin gives you the opportunity of holding your own money, being your own bank. That is a feeling that no one could have before Bitcoin. And that is the important part, right? So it's a new sense of freedom, right? For me, it's like going outdoors is freedom,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But also, knowing that you can go outdoors and you can go wherever, right?
Yeah.
You can bring your wealth with you because you worked so hard for that
Yeah.
money, right? Can be small, can be a lot, doesn't matter, but it's yours, and you can keep it with you, right?
Yeah, I saw you yesterday paying the restaurant with Bitcoin from your smartphone.
Yeah.
And then this morning, when we were picking up our bikes, again, you use your telephone to pay for it with Bitcoin, which is something I saw first time in my life. But before we go to another subject, I'm going to ask you, why Lugano?
The reason is we wanted to find a place that has, first of all, Lugano has 70,000 inhabitants. So it's not a huge city, but it's not even a small city.
Yeah.
Then, but has 3 universities. So 10% of the population is students. You can see how education is important here.
Yeah.
And how, students are part of the ecosystem of the city.
Yeah.
So if we want to educate people, if we want to spread the word, if we want to teach how it works, we need to start from the students, right? So with these 3 universities, so that we could create courses with them to teach how blockchain works, how blockchain can be used in the day-to-day life of people.
I didn't know that. So in the universities here in Lugano, they have classes
Yes.
about Bitcoin.
Yes.
Wow. Şu anda yaklaşık 3000 metre yükseklikteyiz. 2 saat önce sadece Lugano yakınlarında bisiklete biniyorduk. İşte bu bölgeyi de bu kadar özel yapan şeylerden bir tanesi bu. So Paolo, 2 hours ago we were riding our bikes.
Yeah.
And it was almost spring weather. Now we are at 3,000 meters in the Alps and in totally different environment, but it's still beautiful. How do you feel?
Well, first of all, I feel great. I mean, it's sunlight, no clouds. I mean, amazing weather.
Not strong wind.
Yeah, no strong winds. I think, I'm really thankful for the day, honestly.
Yeah, that is great. But one thing which concerns me since we arrived here is the snow condition.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, we have snow now. We are at 3,000 meters in the Alps, but the snow condition doesn't look good at all.
Yeah, this is the, I think, hottest winter in the last 50 years. Well, of course, it's really bad for the environment, right? So it's crazy that this is happening. And also it's putting a huge toll on all the ski resorts that can operate only 3-4 months. So it's a damage to the environment, it's a damage to the economy.
Yeah. And I think it is getting worse and worse. You know, climate crisis doesn't mean everywhere it's gonna get hot. It means extreme weather conditions like US is getting the coldest winter in the last 50 years when we're having the warmest winter in the last 50 years. So this is exactly what the climate change means, actually.
Yeah, I mean, if I have friends that live on the other side of the pond and they are suffering of minus 40, minus 50 degrees Celsius, right? So that is crazy. And here, like we are here today, is like with 3,000 meters, and you could stay like with a light jacket.
Yeah.
And
That is a problem. And what we also talk about all the time, every episode we talk about climate crisis, and we tell Turkish people that this is not just their problem as a country, this is a global problem. We have Greece next to us, we have Bulgaria next to us, we have Russia and Ukraine on the top. So it doesn't matter that if the politicians in our country take the necessary precautions, or as Turkish people we do everything necessary, it's not enough. Swiss people, American people, Italian, everybody has to do it together. And I think that's what makes it so hard.
it is politics, right? And we know, like in Davos, that is in Switzerland, when they are meeting to discuss about, the climate change and these issues, they all meet here with thousands of private jets that are polluting like the atmosphere, like several tens of millions of people, right? So I think it's there is a lot of hypocrisy also when politicians are trying to solve this problem, and I'm a little bit sad.
Climate crisis is happening. At the end, we are going to suffer badly as humanity. And nobody is taking real precautions. No family, not even Switzerland, not in Turkey, not in US. No family has as number one threat. Do you think any family has climate crisis as number one threat for their family?
No.
Definitely not. And it should be. And that's why politicians do not take this subject seriously. This is my opinion,
Doesn't bring votes.
Yes. Anyway, so we talked about the climate crisis because one of the purpose of our show is to create awareness and to understand people how serious this is.
Yanı başımızda keşfedecek daha çok yer, aşılacak daha çok zirve var. Peki sırada hangi maceralar var?